Asian Development Bank, or ADB, has announced its second report of Asian Development Outlook 2011 update, and this report indicates the steady growth of developing Asia and its challenges, including demographic transitions. Despite the industrial economy slowdown, ADB report says the developing Asia will continue to steady growth of 7.5% in the second half of 2011, and the projection in 2012 is also at the same percentage. The slowdown in demand from the United States and Europe continues to cast a cloud over the region, with export growth easing substantially in the second quarter of 2011 in leading economies, including China. However, the domestic demand is playing an important role and the intra-regional trade is on the rise. According to ADB's chief economist, the strong domestic consumption and expanding intra-regional trade are helping to underpin still solid growth levels. The report notes that the share of intra-regional exports among the largest economies in the region has increased from 4.2% in 2007 to 4.7% in the first half of 2011. Meanwhile, accelerating price pressures remain a threat to many economies, with the inflation rate for developing Asia expected to average 5.8% this year, up from an April projection of 5.3%. The rate should cool in 2012 to 4.6% as commodity prices recede. But central banks will still need to keep a close watch and may need to take remedial action. Apart from inflation and global economic slowdown, Laksamon Attapit, ADB senior country economist, expressed concern over the long-term risk to developing Asia, that is, the demographic transition.
Risk to developing Asia in general, two important risks. One is inflation. Another one is the global economic slowdown. But these are short-term risks for developing Asia. But there is also a longer-term risk that this report talks about, that is the demographic change of Asia.
We're talking about the latest report from ADB reveals that the developing Asian nations will soon face the demographic transition into aging societies in the next decades, as their populations are growing older very rapidly, which will put many economies under pressure. Many parts of East and Southeast Asia are already seeing a significant rise in the number of elderly. China, which is the region's biggest economy, is set to see the proportion of elderly to working-age people quadruple between now and 2050, surpassing the United States. At the same time, younger countries such as India, Pakistan, and the Philippines have a relatively narrow window of opportunity to take economic advantage of their youthful populations before they also begin to age. These demographic challenges will require a range of structural reforms and actions. In middle and advanced aging societies, governments will need to strengthen state support systems for the elderly, which remain largely underdeveloped.
We can divide developing Asia into the older developing Asia and the younger one. For the older developing Asia, it is important to consider pension, because we know that retirees, they do not earn income anymore. They live on pension. So the government of each country will have to prepare on their pension system. Another important thing is that because the workforce is shrinking due to the old age of Asia, we need to upgrade labor productivity.
The ADB senior country economist also gave some suggestions to Thailand, where the number of the elderly is growing.
For Thailand, there are already many pension schemes, but I would say that they are not covering everybody in the country yet, and the benefit payout of each scheme may be not enough for people who retire to live above the poverty line comfortably. So what Thailand needs to do is to rationalize the whole pension scheme, try to see if it is possible to introduce defined contribution scheme so that the benefit payout is enough for people to live comfortably after retirement.
Moreover, for developing Asian nations, they must make their labor markets more flexible, allowing greater mobility of workers from younger, labor-abundant countries to those where labor is scarce. Increased investments in fiscal and human capital will also help both elder and younger countries sustain rapid growth in the face of the demographic transition. The report says, with the high levels of savings and capital, developing Asia is well positioned to tackle future demographic challenges. At the same time, it should be looking to take advantage of opportunities, such as the large and growing pool of retirement savings, which could benefit the region as a whole. Such funds could be put to work to support financial sector development and to invest in countries where capital is scarce. สถาปัตย์ แพทอง Nation Broadcasting Corporation, reporting for ASEAN TV.